Greetings, this is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. Today's topic, trend update. Turkey takes Kurds in Afrin, and Putin gets reelected in Russia. And we are March 21st, 2018. And what we got here is a map courtesy of liveviewamap.com. We're going to be looking up in the northern part of Syria, in the northwest section of Syria on the Turkey border. Scripture references out of Ezekiel 38 verses 1 through 3 and Ezekiel 38 verses 6. Emphasis, I'm not going to read all this. For those of you new to this, you can follow these references up in the links provided as below. But we're focusing on the ancient names of Meshech, Tubal, Gomer, and Beth Dagarma. And the bottom line is those ancient names are consistent with what is modern-day Turkey. So these guys, when they came out of the ark, went down to what is Babylon, then got dispersed from Babylon at the Tower of Babel. Meshech, Tubal, Beth Dagarma, and Gomer all settled in the areas that are consistent with what is modern-day Turkey. And that has implications to what's taking place in our world today. So if you're interested in information linking modern-day Turkey to ancient Meshech, Tubal, Beth Dagarma, and Gomer, see the link below. I've provided a link at godinanutshell.com. This is a post I made there. It's also scattered throughout the website at paulthepoke.com. So we're going to zoom in on northwest Syria. Now, a couple of things here in the white. This is Turkey. All the areas in the white are Turkey. This is the Turkey-Syria border. This is Operation Euphrates Shield, which took place last year. This is when Turkey invaded Syria and created a wedge to block out the Kurds and isolated the Kurds here in the northwest of Syria, and that's what we're looking at. So this area previously, in the light green, used to be Kurdish territory. And Turkey's President Recep Erdogan has never liked the idea of the Kurdish people, and he considers them to be terrorists. He vows to take out the, quote, terrorist corridor along Turkey's southern border. And so you see that here's the border, excuse me, here's the border of Turkey, and all this in the yellow, this would be the Kurds. Well, he's clearly interested in getting rid of the Kurds. Now, it started out, I want to keep them east of the Euphrates River. No, he wants to get rid of them altogether. And the thing to remember is all of this that's taking place is happening inside the country of Syria. So here you have Turkish troops in Syria. Operation Olive Branch, which was actually started last month in February. Turkey now controls most of that, and they are moving east into northern Syria. And here is a quote from Turkey's President Recep Erdogan. Quote, "The symbols of peace and security now wave in Afrin's city center." And this is Afrin right here where the star is. "Not the rags of the terrorist organization. Most of the terrorists tucked their tails between their legs and fled. Our special units and members of the Free Syrian Army are cleaning up the remains of the sword and the traps they left behind." And here's the money quote right here from Erdogan, President Erdogan of Turkey. "We will now add the full stop. God willing, we will continue to Manbij," which is right here, moving further east. Also, the United States has special ops in Manbij. Ain el Arab, Tal Abyad, Ra al Ain, and Kamishli, until the terrorist corridor is gone. And again, that's Turkish President Recep Erdogan making these quotes. So the bottom line is he's not stopping anytime soon in Syria. He's made it clear he wants to keep on going into what is northern Iraq until he wipes out the Kurds altogether. So he has every intention of continuing to move to the east through Syria and into Iraq. Now, if you're interested in the story, I have a clip or a link at almonitor.com. Erdogan vows continue fight after Afrin. He's not stopping. And he's also, while he's at it, he's moving further south into Syria. These are Turkish outposts where these little blue towers are located. So he's got troops. He's moving further south. And this has implications as far as Ezekiel 38 and 39 is concerned with Magog's invasion from the north, which leads us to Ezekiel 38, verse 2, Son of man, set your face toward Gog of the land of Magog. Now, the Bible and historians are consistent. Magog is modern-day Russia, and for content linking ancient Magog to modern-day Russia, click the link below at godinanutshell.com. Who is Magog? Again, this was part of a series that was completed identifying the different characters involved with these ancient names as how they relate to modern-day countries. Now, Vladimir Putin was recently reelected to serve again as Russian president. Now, Putin garnered 76% of the vote. You can see the other four fellows who ran against him. His closest rival, which is not included in this picture, Alexei Navalny, was barred from participating due to alleged embezzlement charges. Also, it should be noted that alleged voter irregularities occurred, and we have been reassured by the Putin administration that these things will be fully investigated. They'll get to the bottom of that. And that should be a lesson to our politicians here in the United States. If you're going to rig an election, make sure you win 75% of the vote, and therefore nobody's going to question it. So that's how they do it over there in Russia. Vlad's got a pretty good handle on that. And this is a quote from a Putin spokesman. This is pretty interesting, and this tells you where this guy's going. Here's the quote. The percentage that we have just seen speaks for itself. It's a mandate which Putin needs for future decisions, and he has a lot of them to make, and that's a Putin spokesman. This guy has just been reelected. Now, granted, many people in the West think it's a sham, but he's got the mandate to do whatever he wants, and he views it as he has the support of the Russian people. And incidentally, this came out of BBC.com the very next day. This article is from BBC.com. And then the very next day, Sputnik News, which is run by the Russian government, comes out with Syrian helicopter found in Syria. And it's a radar jamming helicopter. So Russia continues to pour military resources into Syria. Sputnik News was quoting Twitter, and here's the quote from the article. Known as one of the most effective jammers in the world, the Russian helicopter-based radio electronic warfare system Reshog AV is capable of protecting the entire vehicle by blinding all enemy warplanes and missiles within several hundred kilometers. And then they provided a picture from the Twitter feed to show off the helicopter. So under the guise of, hey, it was on Twitter, let's leak this through Sputnik News. But the bottom line is this. Erdogan was reelected last year, April 2017. He can potentially remain in power in Turkey until 2029. Putin, recently reelected, allows him a second 6-year term. He will be in power in Russia until 2024. Now, these guys both have political capital. That's both Putin and Erdogan. With their recent election wins, they are and will continue to spend their capital. And the bottom line is the military build continues toward Israel. Fulfilled prophecy awaits. That's what you boys got in store for you. If you're interested, if you're the ones, Ezekiel 39 verse 6, I will send fire on Magog and on those who dwell securely in the coastlands, and they shall know that I am the Lord. So the bottom line, this is what you need to get down to. What we're watching, is this the time? So, something to think about if we're getting close. Might want to get square with Jesus. Appreciate you guys watching. If you're interested, please feel free to check out paulthepoke.com. Take care. Bye.